You know, just that they can hit and they score some runs. I know that against Houston they had a 10-run game, and you know, just talking to other coaches, said, you know, they can swing the bat. Obviously, we won't see one of their conference starters, but they're gonna start a guy tomorrow that's got 7 decisions. You know, so he's pitched a lot. Big 6'6" right-hander. We got a lot of left-hand pitchers, and I've stole about 40 bases. You know, just the usual stuff. But you know, from what I've been told, they're better than they were last year. So that's about it.
What do we think about Bonfield getting SEC Player of the Week?
Well, I'm glad I was just told because I didn't even know till a few minutes ago. So, you know, good for him. I mean, he has been consistent. He's got a couple hits a game. Seems like for the last 4 or 5 games, driven in some runs, and got a couple of really big hits for us. Obviously, that home run was big in Game 2 over the weekend and gave us the lead, which we almost gave up. But you know, we need him to, you know, to stay hot like that for us to have success in this league. You know, we've got Spanberger hitting in front of him. One reason I put him in the 2-hole was for Luke to protect him a little bit, where they'd have to pitch to him a little bit, and they started pitching around a little bit, and they got Luke, and Luke started taking control of that by getting his hits and driving in runs, and you know, it's been big for our lineup.
The key to being patient with guys at the plate and allowing them to kind of get through some of the struggles like Cole and Spanberger and Bonfield.
Well, you know, it's because we've seen it in the past. We've seen them do well. You know, if they hadn't have shown us that they can hit or they can produce, then obviously you probably go to a guy a little bit sooner. But when you've seen guys have success and they've been in the program a year or two, you know, you're usually going to stick with them longer, just because of the experience of knowing that they've done it, and they've done it at this level. So, you know, it's good to see Luke kick it into gear, Cole's kicking it into gear, and you know, it's hard to stay hot all the time. You know, Arledge had been, you know, swinging it really well, and he's slowed down a little bit. I gave him a day off Game 3 and plugged Devin Lee in there, and he did a great job. Got a hit, walk, scored a run or so, but you know, he'll get it going again. Guys got to pick each other up, so it's nice to have a couple of guys that don't play every day that when they get in there, they do a pretty good job.
Kept in the same defensively, like sticking with Shaddy second and third. You know,
yeah, I'm not going to move anybody around. Shaddy's a hitter more than he is a defender, so we're just going to stick with that. I don't really have anybody to take his place that can even carry his bat to the batter's box, so I'm going to stay with him, and he deserves it. He's been good. He just had a couple of bad decisions, in my opinion, where he made a couple throws, a couple double play balls when there was no chance to turn double plays, and they both went wide. Other than that, you know, he's going to make an error too, but you know, he's still learning the position. We're winning, and he's by far the best option offensively.
You're starting Barrett tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to start Lowski, and you know, if he does well, that'd be great. You know, we're still trying to find a third starter that can give us some innings, and you can call it an audition. You know, I mean, he needs to go out there and do a good job, and you know, do what we thought he would do, and that's be able to be a starter. And you know, it's time for him to take that jump, and it would be nice if he'd show us that he could do it tomorrow.
So if he's, I mean, I'm sure he's on some kind of pitch count, but you might stretch him out a little bit.
I don't have him on any pitch count. We'll just go by how it goes. You know, if he does great and just keeps rolling, we'll let him roll till he, you know, till obviously he gets to, you know, you can tell he's tired. I mean, I'm not going to let him go over 100 pitches, I would say, but you know, we don't have him on a 40, 50, 30 pitch count. It's just go pitch, see if you can pitch. You know, the next time that if you do well, you stay in there a while. Next time we're going to pitch will be on Sunday anyway. So just see what happens. If it doesn't go good, we'll get him quick.
Wednesday would be more piecemeal.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not sure how we're going to do that yet, but you know, you could see 7 or 8 pitchers in that game on Wednesday because, you know, unless it's a guy that we don't plan on using it all out of the pen on the weekend, then we might let that person go a little bit longer. But right now, we're kind of like Memphis. We're going to just TBA that game and, you know, get to that game when Wednesday gets here.
This weekend series, would that be called the unlikely showdown based on preseason predictions and stuff?
You know, I think that I think it's just going to be a great series, but we can talk about that when we're done with Memphis.
Luke said you kind of got on him. I think it was around Louisiana Tech series. What was your message to him then?
Well, I just felt like Luke was being a little passive at the plate, and we know how good a hitter he is. We see him hit every day. We know how good of an eye he has at the plate. Doesn't swing a lot of bad pitches, but sometimes, you have to look for a certain pitch in certain situations with running scoring position. Example of off-speed pitch. And even though it's not right down the middle, if you guess right, you should be able to hammer it. And we wanted him to start doing that a little bit. And, just got on him. I don't know if I really got on him, but just told him, hey, you're hitting in the 3-hole. There's a reason. This is your third year here. You're a feared hitter. Go out there and take some chances every now and then, attack something. And, it's a little out of his style because he's such a patient hitter, but he's a middle-of-the-order hitter, and we'd really like to see him go out there and swing the bat.
Probably start Gosser Wednesday or?
Gosser, yeah, probably. There's a possibility of that. I might mix it up, just break up tomorrow's game and Wednesday's game. We'll see how it goes.
How big a deal do you think it is for him to go down there and play?
Well, it's a senior year. I'm sure obviously he'd like to do well in his home city and in front of probably a lot of family and friends. So, I'm sure it's big for him. There's some other kids from that area too that, you want to play them all. Sometimes, we can. We're fortunate enough to get them all in there. Some guys are already starters or, plan on playing them anyway. But bottom line, we need to try to do well in the game and win the game. It'd be nice if those kids had a good game in front of their people, I guess.
Where do you think you guys are at as a team right now? You lead the league in wins in the conference and out of conference at the halfway point. Just how good do you feel about where you guys are?
Well, I think we're in a good place. Especially for having a few injuries. We lost Wilson, who was kind of defensive replacement, spot starter, and he's probably still out for at least another 10 days. So then we'll have to figure out if we're going to try to redshirt him or not. And if nobody gets hurt, that might be the case. If somebody gets hurt, then we may try to bring him back. But with the pitching injuries at the beginning of the year, I'd have to say we're probably about as good a shape as we could have guessed and or hoped. And we're well past the midway point of the season. We're just at the midway point of conference. So we still have 15 more conference games. So it'll be a good race to the end, I think, with a lot of teams.
You talk about putting Chad in the 2-hole to help him out. It's obviously worked. Does it work even better than you could have hoped?
Yeah, I mean, we'd actually talked about before the season even started at hitting him there, or even maybe hitting Bonfield in the 2-hole. And if you look at the way some of the teams at the higher levels, the big league level, they're putting some of their power guys more in the top of the order instead of just hitting 3, 4, and 5. They're moving them to, in some cases, 2-hole and 1-hole. So, and then putting another hitter or two behind him, so they feel like they'll get another at bat possibly later in the game, or be protected by another good hitter. And in our case, we just felt like we were thinking about Luke there, and then Spanberger ended up being the guy.
How critical has it been for Chad to figure out he can go the other way with power?
I mean, it was huge for him. I mean, it's all about just staying to the ball, not trying to pull the ball so much. And Coach Vitello, I've heard him talking to him about it for 3 years now, and he can hit him anywhere. He can hit him to dead center. If he catches it square, he can get out of any ballpark in the country. It doesn't really matter. And he can miss hit balls down the left field line. He can drive balls to the gap in right center. And when he pulls it and gets everything right, it's they're moonshots. They're fun to watch. But for him personally and playing at the next level, he was going to get a chance to play at the next level anyway. But now, teams are going to have to draft him higher than maybe they thought, and that's good for him and his family.